of Georgia prep, and how close do you think you guys are to, being pretty ready for game day?
The feel right now is just kind of getting our bodies back from fall camp and just kind of like knowing how to practice, learning how to practice still with these guys because it's our first game week with them. Just kind of feeling like today was our first Wednesday practice. So just kind of figuring out how the tempo goes, figuring out how physical we need to be, and how Coach Pittman is. He's done a really good job with being open with us and telling us exactly how he wants us to be. So just our take on where we are in Georgia or against Georgia is we're still game planning them. We're still going through. It's still, like I said, it's a first game thing because we don't know exactly what they're going to do. We're going to have to go out there with open eyes and be able to change our option up and decide on what we're going to do based on what they give us. So we're just preparing on kind of guessing what we think they're going to give us the best shot at. And so I think we're doing pretty good right now. We're, like I said, in a Wednesday, so we're getting to that point where we know we can get ready and play a game. Am I supposed to ask who has the next one?
Bob, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think you're muted.
Bob, you are muted, sir.
Sorry, it was in a different spot. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. Gotta cut some slack. That old guy like me, it doesn't know much. Hey, are you old enough to remember the 2009, 2010 Arkansas Georgia games? They're kind of crazy high scoring games here in Fayetteville, and Georgia won, and then the next year Arkansas came back and won in Georgia in Athens when Mal hit Childs with a deep pass.
Yeah. Yes, I do remember that. That was when I kind of first started. I moved back to Arkansas from Kansas, and yeah, that was when I kind of wanted to become a Razorback, wanted to be a Hog growing up as a little kid. But yeah, I definitely remember Ryan Mallett throwing a great shot. It's like the thing that Ryan Mallett, he brought a swagger to Arkansas that all I can think of is him and all those receivers around him. And I definitely think that we can get that back here at Arkansas. But yes, I'm old enough. I'm about to be 23, so I'm the old guy around here. I feel like I'm K-Rich all over again. I feel like I'm old as can be.
And Beckett kind of sealed that game. Jacob Beckett, he kind of flew through the air and sacked. I think it was Aaron Murray. Do you remember that play at all?
I'm not. If I was in the game, I would have remembered it, but I don't remember.
Okay, I got some more Mario, but I'll let it rotate here around.
Hey, Grant, how have you guys been working out the scout team situation with the quarterbacks? Do you have two different scout guys, like one for DeJuan Mathis and one for JT Daniels? Like, what are you guys doing there? And then who is that scout team quarterback for y'all?
So right now we're doing a lot of stuff because based on just how we want to get the best looks we can get. So we're doing a lot of ones servicing the two, or the two servicing the ones, and then we're doing the two defense services, the one offense. And we're just giving those looks that they want to see. And then when we go to scouts, we have a bunch of different guys rotating through there. I'll tell you right now, we have some scouts that are going on their offense that are going against us that could play on Saturday just because of the numbers we have to be able to do. The quarterbacks have been, I think it's been rotating through. I know Malik has given us probably one of the best looks that Malik Hornsby, just because of DeJuan Mathis. He's given a really good look. And like I said, he's one of those guys, he's going to be really good here at Arkansas. And so I know there's a lot of guys rotating through, but he's given us a really good look for our defense and just a bunch of other guys, not just quarterbacks wise.
Hey, Grant, I'm curious who's kind of jumping out at you in terms of Georgia skill players. Who's kind of catching your eye there? Who do you need to particularly game plan for?
Yeah, a lot of guys. They have a lot of good players on their team. Number one, I'm not big with names. I'm a number guy. Number one is he could be one of the best players in the SEC this year. He's very good. He's very talented. Number four is very shifty. He's they're kind of like a slot / running back. He kind of moves around. He's very shifty. He can make you miss. Number three, the running back as well. he's a very down, like B gap to B gap runner. He's very strong, very physical, likes to hit the hole real hard. Like I said, they have a good offense, and they're going to be able to do a lot of different things. And that's why it's challenging to be able to game plan for them. But it's one of these things, like, it's fun to have this competition super early and to be able to kind of open our eyes. Like, this is a 10-game schedule at SEC. Like, this is going to be something we're going to face every week. But this is going to be one of the best teams we play, and we're ready, and we've been preparing like it's the best team in the nation, because that's what we're getting ready to face.
Yeah, Grant, hey, it's Bob again. I think I'm unmuted now. I figured it out. Hey, Sam Pittman made it clear he really wanted this job. Some coaches weren't beating down the door to get it, or they were maybe trying to use Arkansas to get a raise or whatever. Sam, he's talked about wanting this, loving Arkansas since he was in high school. What does it mean to you guys to have a coach who wants to be here so bad? It's not just about the money or about the SEC. It's he really wanted to be at Arkansas. And just how do you guys feel about wanting to have a strong debut for him on Saturday?
Yeah. As players, the only thing you can ask for is someone you want to go out there and you play hard for. And the only way you're going to do that is if you know that they love being a Razorback just as much as you. So when you have guys like these guys, like right now, like even the captains, like they love being Razorbacks. Like we have a transfer quarterback who came in here and now he's a captain. And I'm telling you right now, he loves being a Razorback. He comes to work every single day, puts his hard hat on and just goes to work. Like, so knowing that we have a coach that loves being a Razorback, he loves putting on his hard hat in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and just coming to work every single day to get better for Arkansas and for the state. It makes you fight for him even more. I think I said that in my last interview, actually. Just being able to have a coach that goes out there and you can know like you're going to give it your all for him. It definitely is. It means something coming from Georgia, yeah, but just the fact that every single weekend, that knowing that we can fight for him because he wants to be out there just as much as us.
If I can ask a follow-up, you mentioned Felipe. Sam said that Felipe got pretty emotional when he was named a captain or voted a captain. He said he wasn't going to say what he said, so I don't know if you'd want – I guess Felipe could speak for himself on the other call. But what did you think about how emotional Felipe got and what he said to you guys?
Well, Felipe is one of those guys. He leads with passion. He may not always be the guy to speak up at certain times, but I know when he speaks up, it gets passionate in everything that he says. He means what he says. He's not a guy to just talk gibberish. So I know I don't want to speak on his behalf based on what he said. Kind of like Coach Pittman. Out of respect for him, because he's gone through times like he's having to leave Florida. Like that's where he grew up. He didn't want to leave Florida. So knowing that he became a captain here, he knows that he loves it here, and he knows that he's welcomed here and he's loved here just as much as anybody else. So I'll let him answer that. I'm sure he'll get asked that. But it means a lot for him to come here and lead the way he's led.
I got a couple more, but I'll turn it back over to whoever wants to ask something else.
Yeah. Hey, Grant. You had 39 tackles, I think, last year. I was wondering if you thought that number is going to go up this year, and just what do you think your expectations are just when it comes to tackles this year?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to go up. I think the amount of reps that I'll be able to get is be able to move up and just be able to get the productivity up. This defense, it really relies on linebackers to be able to make tackles. And if we're doing what we've done in the past and what we've continued and what we're going to try to do this year and how we've gotten better, I think that number is going to go up for both Bump and I, and just our linebacker core in general, just because we have a lot of guys that can play. So our defense, the way it's set up, is we have to be able to stop the run. So unless they open up the book and throw the ball 90 times on us, then I think it definitely can go up. I'm not going to set a number just because I don't want to put that juju on me or anything, but I'm not going to set a number, but I definitely think it'll go up.
Grant, you mentioned stopping the run and having to be able to really do that strongly, but compared to last year, just where do you feel like you guys have improved the most defensively? Is it coverage, run stopping? What do you think the biggest improvement has been just so far?
I think our aggressiveness to get to the ball. I think it might start with D-line, just having those bigger guys up front that we haven't had in a while. Knowing where we are, knowing the style of defense we're playing with Coach Odom, he wants us to attack the line of scrimmage every single play because he knows that we got someone else to cover us up. If we hit that wrong gap a little bit, he knows that next person coming over the top is going to fit it over perfectly, so you can be more aggressive in this defense. So I think the aggressiveness, I think you're going to see. I think we're going to be able to put some pressure on some people. I think just because of the way people are understanding our teammates are understanding the where and like how you're supposed to get to a certain point, like the urgency you're supposed to have. I think that's going to be a big difference from last year, just based on just aggressive.
Grant, you mentioned the defensive lineman a second ago, but Jonathan Marshall specifically, I feel like he's been here a long time, but we don't really know him that well. Just could you give us a little bit of insight on who he is as a teammate, maybe as a person, just from some interactions with him?
Yeah. So I came in with Jay Marsh. I'll tell you right now, when he's about to come talk, I know everyone, he knows he's a good speaker, but his confidence in speaking has grown so much over these past 4 years. He's not one of those guys who could come up here and just talk for 30 minutes. So he's a gentle giant, super nice, one of the most loving guys I've ever seen. But when you get on the field with him, like he's the most powerful man I've probably ever been around, to be able to take on 2 or 3 people at a time and just move around like it's nothing. He's a guy that like I'll be able to call brother for the rest of my life, just because I've known him. We've been through 3 head coaches now with him. We've been able to go through the fire. We've seen successes. We've been through it all. So being able to be a captain with him next to me, those other 2 guys are transfers, and I love them just as much. But me and Jay March be able to come from the very beginning and just be able to stand next to him on Saturdays when we walk out there is a big deal. So he's one of those guys that I'll lean on. He leans on me, but wouldn't want anybody else over there.
Yeah, Grant, hey, it's Bob again. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, amazing. Hey, I got kind of a 2-parter here. One, you guys are 24-point underdogs. I know that's just a betting line to get people to wager equal amounts of money, but how do you feel about being such a big underdog? And then the second part is, there's been so much uncertainty going back to March. How good does it feel, fingers crossed, to hopefully get this, to start playing on Saturday?
Yeah. So the first question, I don't ever really look at the odds. I think I was always raised gambling's bad for you, right? So
yeah, I'm not very good at it.
yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna go in with a chip on our shoulder with every single game, just because we're Arkansas Razorbacks. Like we're probably, I doubt we'll be favored any game this year. I haven't looked at any of that stuff. So we're just gonna be who we are. We're gonna go try to win some games. We're gonna try to give it our all. We're going to work our hardest and give it our all, like based on just playing football. Like we're not going to worry about the outside world. We're not going to worry about how many fans actually showed up, 17,000 or whatever. Like we don't really care about all that. We love Arkansas can be with us because we play for everybody. But like what matters to us right now is getting better, getting this group that we're in this building with right now, just getting better and just working out.
And then just as far as beginning to play when there was so much uncertainty, how does that feel being in a game week and being on the cusp of playing?
Yeah. So, like I said, I think it was last interview, like it's fun watching football, but there's nothing like playing and having that game week feel. And whenever we see on our schedule that we get, it says in season Tuesday, in season instead of off season or fall camp. It just means a lot to us to be able to have, like, I'm a senior, like this is a big deal. Like, this is my last time I'll have a first game, or this is my, like, just something like that. It's just being able to play football is just different. Back in March, whenever we were on Zoom calls every single day or 8 hours for a week, like who would have thought we'd be here about to be lined up against Georgia too? Like no one would have guessed that, like at this time, September 26th, like no one would have guessed that. But being able to have that, our team, the way we've responded, the way that we've acted, like we never thought, oh, there's no way we're going to play. Like we just said, just tell us when, tell us where. So just knowing that, like, it's finally here. Everything that we've been waiting for and worked for is here. So I couldn't be happier to be able to go out there Saturday and play some football.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
Grant, you talked about how this defense is kind of designed to stop the run. Georgia's known to be a school with really good running backs. What do you guys think about the Georgia running backs that you have to go against this weekend?
Yeah. So 3, he's a really B2B guy. He's fast enough to go outside. I don't want to just narrow him down to a one-dimensional back. He's a guy who can do it all, but he's gonna make money one day playing B2B and just being that guy who can run hard, because that's what he is. He's kind of like a DeAndre Swift, where he can run hard just and put his shoulder down and get those yards. But the way our defense has got to go, like we've got to be able to fill up gaps. Like I said, we got to be aggressive down the hill. When I was talking aggressive earlier, that wasn't mainly just, oh, we're going to move the quarterback around. We want to be able to get tackle for losses. We want to be able to get pushing that line back a little bit because they're a good offensive line. Like our head coach recruited them, and he was one of the best O-line ever, or O-line coach ever. So obviously those guys are going to be good. So just knowing that we got to have a D-line and O-line battle, it's going to be a trench battle no matter what. It's the SEC. Like that's just how it's going to be. But I think the way to stop them is just be able to be aggressive, get hats to the ball. We're going to have to fly around, make gang tackles just because they're used to running the ball like that. They're used to running hard, and we're going to have to be able to stop the run. This is our first time in testing our new defense. And the way that we've been playing in the fall camp and stuff, I'm excited to go out there.
Grant, what have you seen from Felipe when, maybe he's under pressure? Maybe does he get frustrated? Does he trash talk? Like, what's his personality like on the field? And then Rakeem Boyd, does he seem like he's ready to even like take another step this year? And just like, do you sense a different fire in him this year?
Yeah. So the Felipe one, first off, Nikki, the rules with Coach Pittman, we're not allowed to talk to offense. Offense is not allowed to talk to us because he doesn't want anything to do with getting trash talking in games. That was one of his first rules he brought to Arkansas. He said, I don't want anybody talking to the offense during plays, middle of plays, after plays. I don't want defense talking, offense talking. So that rules out that one with Felipe. He doesn't talk to us at all. I see him a lot going and meeting with his receivers one-on-one. If he was on him or if it was on the receiver, he's always one-on-one going and helping him or going and talking to him, like trying to get it on a certain page of like both of them understand on what happened. Or I see him leading by the pat on the head with the lineman, like, hey, we got to be right here. Oh, that's my bad. Like he's the leader that he'll take responsibility when it's his, but he's not afraid to be able to jump somebody and say, listen, like has to be this way. So I think that he's done a really good job with gaining everyone's respect that way, because if you just jump everyone's throat all the time, they're not going to be able to respect you. So he's done a really good job of just being able to gain the respect of everyone around him. And then,
All right, everybody. Oh, sorry.
I was going to answer a Rakeem question.
Go ahead. The
Rakeem one, yes. I just want to say like one word, yes, because the kid is very good, and he's going to go even better this year. And I can't wait to watch him go on the sidelines and sit and watch him run the ball. I'll just tell you that right there. He's going to be really good.
Thanks, Grant.
All right, everybody. That'll wrap up first half. Grant, thanks so much, man.
Thank you all.